Hello everybody, it's the FarmSim guy here, hope you're all doing well. Just locking up the house here. We don't actually live on the farm, but welcome back to Seneca County. We're here again for the first episode official of Ohio Horsepower. So what we're going to do now, we're just going to jump in the truck here, we're going to head down to the main farm, and we'll give you a little bit of a view of the scenery on the way, but we'll head off right now, and we will see you at the main farm. Yes, like I said, we live just a little bit down the road from the main farm. If I jump on the mini-map just here while we're driving along, we are here, we're just up here, but our main farm is down here. We've got fields 30, 29, 88, 87, 116 and 117. That's the main farm where most of our equipment is. However, we do have 3 fields up here, 50, 65 and 66 as well, and a second farm that we look after here, just next to field 53. Fields 1, 2 and 3 here, we do own those as well, but we have leased those out to another farmer, so we're not going to be using those at the moment, although that may change. That may change. So as you can see, we're heading down here, and we will just make a turn into the yard in a minute, and we will be there. And the first thing I'm going to do is give us a little bit of a tour of the farmyard. As you can see, we've got roads now, which were missing in the live stream the other day. We've got a slightly updated version of the map now, which is very helpful. As you may have noticed as well, we've got seasons turned on. We're going to be running a little bit of seasons in this series. I'm going to go on 3 days to start with, but we'll see how we go. We've got a lot of kind of punchy equipment, so I'm liking the idea that we could finish quite a lot of this stuff quite quickly. But if we need to bump it up a little bit to 6 days, we can always do that. So here we are. This is the main farm. As you can see, we've kitted it out rather nicely with some of the big Trailer Park Farms sheds that I did the review on the other day. But what we'll do, we'll give you a little bit of an equipment tour and a little bit of a run round and get you acquainted with the place, and then we're going to jump into a little bit of gameplay. So let's just jump out here, let's turn the engine off, save fuel, and here we are. We've got the big main shed here, again another fantastic Trailer Park Farms shed, the new shop over here, which we'll go and have a look at in a minute, and his very big 200 feet shed as well. So we'll go and have a look at that. Big grain silo over there as well. We are going big arable, big machinery in this series. So let's have a quick look in here. Let's do a bit of a machinery tour. We talked about the Midwest header before, the 60-foot header with its own rather large trailer on it as well. And in addition to that, it has a fuel tank on the front, so we can keep those combines topped up in the field. The Demco auger wagon, we talked about it as well before. That's just come out this week. Another brilliant mod from the guys at Custom Modding. Got that attached to a Challenger, which by another name is a Fendt 1000. But we're running the Challenger version of that. And then in here is where some of our bigger kit is. So we've got the 9R here with its dual floaters on. These are seriously big tractors. We're going to have to do some work to remove these tyres to get some of this stuff shipped along the road. We've got the Fendt 1000 as well with the triples on, thanks to Mark Thor in my community, one of my subscribers who's tailored this to me. So there's some nice FarmSim Guide logos on there as well, which is nice to see, isn't it? Again, more custom modding stuff, the brilliant early riser planter. I'm very excited for the next version of this that comes out, the bigger version. This is fantastic, but who doesn't love bigger kit? And of course, what can you say about this tractor? This is the beautiful Carl Farms Case AFS Connect quad track Steiger thing, whatever you call it. Beautiful tractor. We've raved about this enough. We talked about it in the top 5 tractor video. It's gorgeous, and we've got the IC control one here. I haven't got it switched on at the moment, but you can pop the hood there and open the door yourself, which is great. And then over here, we've got something we've never used before, and this is the Case Titan. This is a dry fertilizer spreader, so I'm looking forward to using this in a little while. We'll also apply lime, so a handy little tool to have. And it's always nice to try some new kit. The John Deere 4940 spray is great, but I use that a lot, so I thought I'd try something different this series. And again, couple of fendt, the 9Ts with corn headers. They're not going to see the light of day for a little while yet, but thought I'd again try different combines to what I usually do. I do have, we'll go and see it in a little while, a John Deere combine for doing soybeans and wheat, but I think we'll keep the 2 fendts for combining the corn. In here as well, like I was saying, the 4940 isn't getting an outing in this series, or certainly not straight away, because I've got the Case Patriot here, which is a lovely big sprayer. We've got the extended boom version on that, so I think we're running 36 meter width on that, and we've got the joules on there as well. Again, another Carl Farms Steiger. I can see number 2 on that because the other one had number 1 at. And we are using the very nice speed tiller on this. It's probably this is probably going to get an outing very, very quickly. That's why it's in the shop at the moment. We're just sorting it out, making sure it's all working before we take it out to the fields. So let's just pop the door here because we're taking it out relatively quickly. This is the big shed that we reviewed the other day, the new big shed. So there's a link to this in the top corner there at the moment. The big 9 million litre grain silo, we are going to be shifting a lot of crop in this series. So we've dumped one of those on here as well. And in here, this is our big equipment shed. We've got another early riser planter, because I think we'll be using 2 of those to cover the ground very, very quickly. And of course, over here, our forward ag demonstration model, our prototype anhydrous kit. Absolutely fantastic. We'll talk about that in a little bit more detail as we get onto the planting, with the custom C850 air cart, and of course the 1870 seeder as well, and with all the extra piping on there to deal with the anhydrous. And at the front here, a rather special 9RX that we have had loaned to us by the Forward Ag guys as well. Some lovely little details and lovely extras on that. Fantastic tractor, and we'll give that a little run out as well. We are actually getting a second one of those delivered today by the dealer. So we're going to look forward to giving that a run out relatively soon. And then finally, just behind us here, we have got our bulk anhydrous, which we can use to run additional anhydrous down to the fields, and it's got to be done, hasn't it? If we're running the Dura 60-foot header, we've got to have the X9 with the big hopper and the extended pipe on it. It's probably one of the few combines you can run that Duras header and not have any real issues with your auger pipe not being long enough. So there you go. Kit galore. We have kit coming out of our ears. Now, the other thing we're doing as well as seasons is we're going, I think they call it in farming circles as the full Kadek. We are going seasons and we are going precision farming. So we've already done a little bit of work here. If you remember Field 30, we run the anhydrous over that in the live stream the other day. 88 has been uncovered. We haven't done anything with any of the other fields yet. In addition to this though, just want to point this out before we start, they all require ploughing down by the farm here. Well, 17 doesn't, 117 doesn't, but 116, 88, 87, 29 and 30 all need ploughing. But 50, 65 and 66 do not. So that means different equipment. What we'll do is probably run the speed tiller up here on one of the quad tracks. But down here, I think we might run the 9RX in these fields with the big John Deere plough. So for that, we need a brand new John Deere tractor. In precision farming terms, we need to make some calls and do some analysis of some of these fields so that we can find out what the soil map is like. So we're going to do 29. We're actually just going to pay people to do this. We could run the tool over it ourselves, but to be honest, we've got enough on our plate at the moment, so we're just going to pay the money and get this done. There we go. So they will all come back very soon from the lab, so we'll keep an eye open for those and then we can get started. Now, I've just had a call from the local dealer telling me our new piece of equipment should be here very soon. So I'm just going to wander out to the road and see where he is. I can certainly hear the whistle of an engine, and looky here, here comes our new 9RX. He's just going to pull in here. I think he'll probably stop outside the main shed here. Look at that. Look at that look at that flag fluttering on it. How good is that? And it's got number 2 on it as well. Very, very nice. Just in time to start doing a bit of ploughing. Got the weights on the front there. It's got the chain underneath as well in case it gets stuck. Beautifully detailed. Tinted windows as well. Looking good, looking good. So, let's get this unhitched. And let's get things prepped, ready for the ploughing. So we'll just roll forward here. This low loader actually is another custom modding mod, a fantastic one that has been out for quite a while now actually, but it is my go-to low loader, and I'll show you why when we've moved the 9RX off it. So there we go. It's got the wider tracks, this one. The other one we have got has got narrower tracks in this. So different tractors for different requirements. Let's power that down and let me reverse this back up, and I will show you why this is a very handy low loader to have. So we'll just connect this back up here, and I will hit the button to connect the front and the back together. And now if we hit the X button, the sides go in and it becomes a standard low loader, but it means we can run very wide tractors and big implements on it, which is incredibly helpful. So there you go. So we'll park him around the corner here and we will go and get that John Deere prepped to do our first field of ploughing. Okay, the John Deere plough is already out here. So that's great. We will get this hooked up, and I think we'll just drop straight into field 29 across the road. As you can see there, we've got precision farming maps already on screen, so we know what we've got to do. So we will just get this hitched, and we'll go and have some fun. As well as that, as you can see, the case is sitting over there with a speed tiller on it. We're going to run that up to the other fields higher up the map. Like I said, we have a second farm there. So I'm going to send that up there, and then we'll head over and see how he's getting on in a little while. But for now, let's get into this first field.
Pick
Okay, so this guy's doing a fantastic job in here. He's making short work of this, and you've got to say that is one good looking tractor. And the big John Deere plough's working well as well, so I'm pretty happy with this. So we're going to head over to the farm. We're going to get the case ready. There's a few last minute tweaks we need to do just to make sure that's working fine. And then we're going to send that up to the other farm as well. Now ideally, I would like to run 2 speed tills together, but the other speed tiller hasn't arrived yet. But hopefully, maybe by the start of the next episode, we'll be able to run 2 tillers in the field together. But for now, we've just got the one. In fact, you can see it just over there in the distance sitting in the shed. So we'll go and sort that out, and we'll send him up to the other farm, just ready to get started. Okay, so we're all done here. We're just going to fire this up. It's so quiet in this cab, it's fantastic. We're going to fold up the tiller now, and we're going to get it up and away to the farm. This thing moves at such a pace. I think we can run this about 12 or 13 miles an hour. So it's a really, really great tool to get through a lot of farming very, very quickly. You've got to be very careful on these roads that you don't bump into anybody. They're pretty narrow. But there he goes, off to the second farm. So here we are arriving at the second farm. It's just a handy place to have. It's got a little bit more grain storage, and it's got some sheds and things that we can use to repair vehicles if we need to without having to head all the way back to the farm. That's my brother's house as well. He helps us out on the farm. But here we are here. So the field we're going to head to is this one directly over the road from us. That's the first one I'm going to jump into. So we'll head down to the entrance to that, and we'll get started. It's quite a big field, but like I said, this thing runs at a rate of knots, so we shouldn't have too many issues with it.
I can't get you out of my mind. I will follow you wherever. I won't waste it.
Well, there you go, high speed tillage, 13 miles an hour. We are flying through this field. So, he's running well. The John Deere's running well in the other field. We'll pop back and check him now. But things are looking good to start with. This is a nice start to the season. Okay, so we've just dropped back here and he is just starting the headlands. So he has got through this in incredibly quick time. So, things are looking up. I was slightly worried about 3-day seasons with the amount of fields I had, but I think this big machinery is doing a great job of making sure that we'll get through it in double quick time. Of course, we may need to think about putting some additional machines in. We could run 2 machines in a lot of these fields, potentially not this one, it's not the biggest field in the world, but we'll certainly give that a go in some of the fields if we're feeling like we're under pressure. But just before I leave, I have to give a big shout out to FarmSim Jim, who found the alternative version of this map with the roads in, which is very different from the one you saw the other day when we were on the live stream. So big shout out to FarmSim Jim for sharing that with me. That's awesome. That link is now down in the description for this vid if you want to pick up this map, because it's a cracking map. and doesn't leave anything else for me to say other than thank you very, very much for watching as always. This has been Seneca County, and I have been the FarmSim guy, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye for now.